Okay, I can't believe it, but it's already week 3, well, end of week 3 of the Artist Way journey. And I'm officially wrapped up with 21 days of morning pages. And I believe that it's been said that it takes 21 days to create a habit or form a habit. And I could definitely attest to that. I feel as if that is true. I've finally become disciplined, and writing out my morning pages and journaling when I wake up has definitely become second nature, just something that I naturally do in the morning. It's become ingrained into my morning routine. Just as I make a morning cappuccino every single day, I then take that up to my room and sit down and write out my morning pages. I make sure I always wake up early enough to get them done, and if not, I am late to wherever I'm heading to, as it is my fault that I didn't make enough time to write out my morning pages. So I haven't even missed one day. I'm super proud of myself because, as I've previously mentioned, I have started the Artist Way about like 3 or 4 times at this point, and I've never been successful. Whereas this time I definitely have had a super big mindset shift. I picked up this book again, and I was determined from the very first page of rereading it of I will be successful this time. I will actually get through the 12 weeks. I really just want to work on myself and on my inner creativity. So week 3, this is a week about really kind of going in deeper. We've already, like I said, built the foundation of the creative act of writing your thoughts out every single morning. And then of course you have to take yourself out on an artist date every single week and do the tasks that the book tells you to do. Week 3 is really about just a sense of power and control, just diving deeper into who you are as a person. And this chapter really talks about anger, shame, criticism, and growth, which I really loved this chapter. I think it had a lot of great advice, also just a lot of truths that you can uncover about yourself in this chapter. And for example, like, anger is not always a bad thing. It mentions that anger can and should be used as fuel, and also it's an emotion that we all experience as human beings. It helps you to prepare for that moments of those spurts of anger that you will definitely experience at some point, especially as you work through this book, because your inner creativity and your person ebbs and flows. You're not always at equilibrium, obviously. You'll have some days of pure joy, you're ecstatic, you feel like you're doing everything right, your art is being written out or painted out or whatever, of exactly how you imagined it. It's perfect in your eyes. And then other days you're gonna have times where you think it's awful. Why did you even try this? There's no point to this. I'm a terrible artist. I should have never pursued this. You might even have thoughts come up of things that you told yourself or other people have told you before, and you're gonna really hone in on that, and it's important that you don't. One thing that this chapter really talks about is when you have those moments of self-doubt and criticism, or even when other people are criticizing you, to say some positive affirmations about yourself or seek out where people have complimented you before. If you have those documented, then read those over to yourself, and maybe even reach out to someone that you know you could count on that is your cheerleader, that you could say, hey, like, what are some good things I've done, or what are some of my artistic capabilities that you love and you think I'm good at, or something like that. But most importantly, when you have those moments of criticism, whether it's from yourself or from others, just think to yourself, it doesn't matter. You will heal, you will move on from that, and just keep going. It's important that you keep showing up for yourself, you keep going, no matter how tough it is. And maybe next day you'll wake up and you'll feel better. But let's start at the beginning of this chapter. I tend to write a lot of notes on the sides, so this kind of might be a little scattered talk, but I just want to go through of my initial thoughts when I was reading this. It starts out about talking about anger, and it also talks about being angry at other people when you think they may have stolen your idea, or that you could have done it better than them, or something like that, you're comparing yourself to others, my thought is you can't be mad at someone else for something that you never did. For example, I think it's just a sign of being envious and jealous that, let's say that you always wanted to write a novel about fairies, and then instead so now there's a famous book about fairies that everyone loves, and you're just so mad about it because you're like, I can't believe they've gone and written that. Well, you were given that idea 5 years ago and you never decided to act upon it, so that idea unfortunately flew away from you and found another home that someone would actually care for it and actually make it come into fruition. Additionally, when we feel anger, it shows us what truly matters to us and also helps us propel in the right direction, become a new person. Like, for example, when I'm trying to become a better person by forming the daily habit of morning pages, well, I may be angry at myself at first because I have to wake up early, I'm not getting enough sleep, which I could definitely fix in other ways. There's a lot of friction that goes on when you're trying to form a new habit or drop a bad habit that you've had. And anger is inevitable because when you're becoming a new person, there will be friction, either for the good or for worse. So acknowledge it and then use it to keep pushing you in the right direction. Hopefully that makes sense. Here it says anger is our friend. Not a nice friend, not a gentle friend, but a very, very loyal friend. It will always tell us when we have been betrayed. It will always tell us when we have betrayed ourselves. It will always tell us that it's time to act in our own best interests. Anger is not the action itself, it is action's invitation. Anger is an invitation to act. Moving along. Consequences, synchronicity, serendipity, all synonyms for each other. But basically, you'll realize throughout this process that a lot of your dreams, hopes, interests, things that you've written out that you hope that would happen to you will happen. So acknowledge it and be thankful for it, be grateful for it, that you're living out your dream life and that your dreams actually are coming true. And it also mentions that there's really no such thing as coincidence because you've asked for these things before. So why would that be a coincidence? It doesn't just magically appear. It mentions that the great creator God is actually doing that for you. You asked for it and you're going to realize that he put a certain person in front of you to help you fulfill that dream. Or you got a gifted notebook and you've always wanted to start writing every day and start writing a novel. Well, you got that notebook for a reason. Just remember that believing is more difficult than not, and action is more difficult than no action. So it will be hard to do these things and to follow your dreams. And it's easier than not taking action at all. But think about, do you want to remain stagnant or do you want to become 1% better every single day? Ask and you shall receive. Ask, pray, always ask for what you want. Either God has something better in store or someone will just tell you no. I've also always heard, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Is that someone tells you no. So you should always ask whether it's, you can get an extra ticket somewhere. Like, for example, I was living in Savannah like 2 months ago and I drove all the way to this cathedral because they were having like a choir from Europe come in and sing. And I kind of just like wanted to go as kind of like an artist date for myself. And I thought it was free from what I read on the website. And I walk in, I'm literally like walking in as it's starting. And they're like, do you have a ticket? I'm like, no, I didn't know I needed a ticket. And they're like, well, you could purchase one right now. And I go online and it's around like $65. I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, I would have loved to stay, but it's just a bit too expensive. I was thinking that this was free and I came here. Unfortunately, like, I won't be going. Thank you for like all of the information. And the lady goes, wait here 1 second, I'll be back. And she comes back and she says, someone actually had an extra ticket that they won't be using and said if anyone comes in and needs a ticket, to give it to them. So I have a ticket for you. Please, like, go in the cathedral and you can enjoy the show. And my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my gosh, How lucky am I? How lucky am I? And those aren't just coincidences. It's just a sign from God, and it's something that you asked for, and it's just beautiful moments. So definitely realize that that's a beautiful moment, and that's something beyond us. It's just magical. Another thing that I underlined that I loved is never to ask whether you could do something. Say instead that you are doing it. Then fasten your seatbelt. The most remarkable things follow. And I think that's so true. And it's another like affirmation in one sense is you shouldn't say, I hope to do this, or I hope to be this someone, or I hope to be an artist. You should say, I am an artist, and be proud of it and start to believe it. Write it out as many times as you can in your morning pages until it becomes true, or at least until you start believing it. Moving along. Understand that the what must come before the how. First, choose what you would do. The how usually falls into place of itself. Remember, like from last chapter of the quality of it, just focus on the quantity and actually doing the thing and what steps you must take to actually create. Random people will stumble into your life and answer to your prayer. So random people stumble into your life who will help you fulfill your creative act and your dreams and everything that you ever hoped for. Just remember that these are answers to your prayers. You just need to commit and do it. God will take care of the rest. Whatever you think you can do or believe you can do, begin it. Action has magic, grace, and power in it. Throughout this process, it also mentions that you're going to feel a lot of shame, whether it's actually in the act of creating itself, kind of being embarrassed to tell others that you're doing this. Other people might also criticize you and make you feel shameful of, why are you wasting your time doing this? Are you taking the right steps in the right direction? Or you should become a lawyer or be focusing on building your business acumen or something else rather than painting, doing arts and crafts. They might think some of these things are childish, and they're not childish. And everyone, honestly, even if it's deemed childish, everyone hopes and longs to be a child again and have the same mindset of a child. So really, people are just being envious. At least that's my opinion. The very act of attempting to make art creates shame. So remember that. You will feel embarrassed and shameful throughout this process. The criticism that damages is that which disparages, dismisses, ridicules, or condemns. Because of this, as artists, we must learn to be very self-protective. It means learning where and when to seek out right criticism. Because of course, there's a difference between constructive criticism that just brings you more shame. And a quote I really loved here was, we will discover the nature of our particular genius when we stop trying to conform to our own or to other people's models. Learn to be ourselves and allow our natural channel to open. In another quote, since you are like no other being ever created since the beginning of time, you are incomparable. So do not compare. When someone criticizes you and you feel anger, just determine whether what they're saying is correct and you want to readjust, or if that's just igniting your passion even more so of your belief that what you're doing currently is correct and there is no need to readjust. You should continue what you're doing because you love it. So I think it could be taken two ways. It's just at the end of the day to make sure that you're doing it for yourself and you're not trying to be someone else. These are your thoughts, your ideas, your art being put on the paper. It's you, and you should only strive to be you. So how do we heal from shame, anger, criticism? We simply cannot allow the first negative thinking to take hold. So don't let that first thought into your head, thinking maybe that person was right, maybe I'm not an artist. Instead, think to yourself, you are a good artist, you are a brave artist, you are doing it well. The antidote for shame is self-love and self-praise. For example, here it says that she made a list for herself of past compliments and good reviews that she received in the past. So I highly recommend doing that. Sometimes I know in the past I've taken screenshots of people's texts to me and supporting me for some of the things I've done, and that really helps reading those things over. Don't give up. You're here for a reason. We all have a creative passion and a creative purpose that we were given from God and we're supposed to fulfill during our lifetime. So keep chasing it and do what you love, and make sure that you actually do the work. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Don't let it disappear. Another quote that I loved by Eugene Delacroix is, "Artists who seek perfection in everything are those who cannot attain it in anything." Don't strive for perfection. You cannot be a perfectionist. It's not good. Growth. This is where the chapter ended, on growth. So I just want to read a few things from the book from here because I highlighted a bunch on these 2 pages about growth. Growth is an erratic forward movement. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Remember that and be very gentle with yourself. You are capable of great things on Tuesday, but on Wednesday you may slide backward. This is normal. Growth occurs in spurts. You will lie dormant sometimes. Do not be discouraged. Think of it as resting. The morning pages might even seem pointless. They are not. What you are learning to do, writing them every day, even when you are tired and they seem pointless and dull, is to rest on the page. This is very important. Marathon runners suggest you log 10 slow miles for every fast one. The same holds true for creativity. So make it a practice to write them out every single day, and also to do one kind thing for yourself every day, and you will begin to notice a slight lightness of heart. This will bring you joy, happiness, and keep you grounded. And also, you should be nurturing your artist, your inner artist, and allow yourself to create. And here also something I really love that said is, God helps those who help themselves. If you do one nice thing a day for yourself, God will do 2 more. Be alert for support and encouragement from unexpected quarters. Be open to receiving gifts from odd channels. Practice saying yes to such help. You need to show up for yourself, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to be kind to others and to yourself. Do not forget about yourself. And good things will happen. Good things will follow. The more good you do for yourself and for others, the more good you will see in the world around you. And you'll just see all these magical moments kind of sprinkle upon you. Like how I got those free tickets. Like, what? That was just a crazy moment. And then also says to experiment with solitude. Solitude and quiet. So have check-ins with yourself. Make sure that you're taking time only by yourself. Make a commitment to quiet time. You know, asking yourself how you're doing, how you're feeling, especially throughout this process, since there will be a lot of friction, especially during week 3, week 4, it said. And this process, it's the whole ebb and flow process. So as a creative being, you will be more productive when coaxed rather than bullied. So although it might seem kind of like you're babying yourself, it's important that you do that because that's how you grow. I mean, think about children. Think about when you're a child. You can't grow and become a good person through people bullying you or putting you down or your parents not believing in you. You become who you are from belief from others. Like, that's what you need to grow and to become the person you're meant to be. And then it kind of ends with a lot of tasks to think back to your childhood of who you were as a person, the traits that you admired in yourself, the habits that you had, your favorite treats, and to kind of like go back and explore those things. Like, for example, I was obsessed with cotton candy, so this week I might go out and... Okay, my camera has died now like 4 times, so I need to end this video. But that was my week 3 wrap up of The Artist Way. I'm proud of myself. I'm very happy with myself and the progress I've been making. I definitely feel a lot stronger physically and mentally because I have been nurturing my artist, myself, making sure I'm taking care of my body, moving it every single day, working out, as well as trying to get at least like 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night. Although I definitely could use more. I'm realizing that I'm pretty tired, so that will be my main focus of this week, is getting more sleep and diving into the creative act deeper, since I did take off of work this upcoming week, so I have a few extra days. So I definitely want to take those days to spend at least a few hours, as in like 4 to 5 hours a day, doing something creative. In the beginning of this week, I definitely felt some self-doubt and some friction, and even like one of my morning pages, I kind of just rewrote the same things over and over again and just like mentioned how tired I am, and I just felt like there wasn't much to it. Now it's the end of the week and I'm feeling ignited again, so it is so true that you will ebb and flow, and you will feel moments of self-doubt and self-criticism and criticism from others. I actually also received criticism from others this week, and I'm just realizing, like the book mentions, like Julia Cameron mentions, that it's just true that you continue to show up for yourself and to believe in yourself, and in those moments of self-doubt to really counter those with positive thoughts and affirmations, and you know, going back to things that, positive things that other people have said about you in the past and about your work. That's all for this week. Hopefully that made sense. I feel like I kind of rambled a bit. Let me know if you got into week 3 or 4 and how it felt for you. I'm just so excited to continue on this journey, and thank you guys for keeping me accountable, because through doing these videos and posting about it every single day, I can't just fall off all of a sudden and not post these things anymore, because then you guys would know I failed. So I'm showing up for myself as well as all of you, so thank you for the motivation, and see you all next week. Bye.